Thanks to the Victorian Government, it's time to visit Victoria for round 5 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul. For the second time this season, we arrive at majestic Phillip Island, a place of stunning natural beauty, but more importantly, the home of the best racetrack in the world. Phillip Island is renowned for always providing extremely close racing along with its stunning natural vistas. Phillip Island, of course, everybody knows this magnificent track. We charge down the Gardner Straight into Motul Corner, turn 1, and then we transition to the left-hand side of the tyre through the long turn 2, through turn 3, and then up to the iconic turn 4. Honda Corner this weekend. Down now to the bottom end of the circuit at Siberia, through the left at Dunlop, and then we head up towards the magnificent Hayshed, turn 7, the Race and Road Corner. We'll catch plenty out this weekend. Across the top of the hill and down into Pirelli, turn 10. Then we set sail for the start-finish line, through Michelin, turn 11, round through turn 12, and then across the start-finish line to complete a lap of Phillip Island. And we love this place, don't we, Steve? It is one of the best racetracks, if not the best racetrack in the world. Both you and Chris have done many, many racing laps around here. I've ridden around here as well, and I can't think of a better place to start round 5 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championships. And racing will get underway very, very shortly with the Race and Road Supersport 300 category, first up on today's program. So championship points coming into this round for the Supersport 300 category. And Josh Newman leads on 224, only one solitary point ahead of Valentino Knežević. Of course, Kawasaki and Yamaha at the top of the field. Then it's Harry Watts on board the Champions Ride Days machine. He's still very close as well on 211. Geordie Simpson, the ever-smiling Geordie Simpson in 4th. Will Nassif, our poleman, in 5th. John Pelgrave in 6th. Calvin Moylan for Race DNA in 7th. Jesse Stroud not here this weekend. He will lose 8 positions. Mitch Simpson will surely score more points and move up to 8th. He's currently in 9th, and Casey Middleton rounds out that top 10. Here is your grid for the Supersport 300 category. Will Nassif, Geordie Simpson and Josh Newman will start from the front row on the grid, with Valentino Knežević, Harry Watts and Ollie Short on the second row.
Calvin Moylan, Casey Middleton and Scott Nicholson riding a 300 this weekend is your row 3. Row 4 is John Pelgrave, Ryder Gilbert and Lincoln Knight.
Yeah, Tara Morrison a little bit further back than we'd expect. She hasn't done a lot of riding of late, coming back from injury. She'll start out at position number 13 with Oscar Lewis and William Hunt on row 5. Tommy Nicholson, Flynn Jacobs and Alexander Cody on row 6.
Hudson Air, Mark Shaw and Tone Zhao, row 7. Georgia Stevens, the young South Australian, and Mitch Cartwright starts from 23rd position.
Bit of a delay as the riders make their way back. Those riders that had to start that lap from pit lane. Looks like there's still a little bit of confusion there at the back of the grid. Rider just moving into position number, way back on the grid. Yeah. As Sam Phillips leaves the front of the grid now. Green flag at the back. We're ready to go racing, Steve. Supersport 300 is go. Look at the start there from bike number 7. That's Oliver Short. He got a great jump off the second row of the grid. Can he tuck in and get the drive down into the first corner here as they make their way through there for the first time? Looks like he's got a pretty good start. He's up there into 5th position, trying to go around the outside of Josh Newman. But it is Nassif and Simpson that lead them down into AWMF corner for the first time, and it's Will Nassif that will take the lead as they head through AWMF and now go through this long left-handed corner, Steve, and then all the way down to turn 3, where we'll see a big out-braking duel for this first lap.
Yeah, absolutely. This Alpine Stars corner could be the first place where they could get the wind caught up underneath them there, because that wind is heading straight down into them as we head into Honda corner for the first time, and it is the 33, Geordie Simpson, who takes the lead.
Nicholson up the inside into 3rd position, putting Knežević back to 4th place. Josh Newman there in 5th. But exactly as you said, Steve, you predicted it perfectly. They all ran a little bit wide on the exit of Alpine Stars corner, turn 3.
Just saw Harrison Watts up there too in 14th position. Josh Newman in 4th. He got a bad start, but managed to move his way up a few spots. So Josh Newman in the mix there.
We can see the bikes getting blown around as they went through Race and Road corner at the Hayshed there. It is now Nicholson up into the lead. Nassif back to 2nd. Geordie Simpson in 3rd. Harry Watts trying to go around the outside of Josh Newman as they come across the top and down into Pirelli.
Up the inside. Big move by Newman there, moves up to 3rd.
Yeah, full foot out action there from Josh Newman, putting a lot of pressure on the front end of the Wet For You Kawasaki Ninja 400. So it's Nicholson, Nassif and Newman that lead Then it's Simpson, Watts and Knežević.
Scott Nicholson's got to be the most experienced guy out there. He's done all sorts of different classes over his time. Coming back into this, the Race Road Supersport 300 class, you know, these 300s are probably the easiest bikes to ride here.
Well, and after doing a lot of time on 600s, it'd feel like a little toy to him, and go down the inside is Newman. 3 abreast they were, Steve, heading into Motor Corner on that occasion. 3 into 1 doesn't go, and Nicholson has come out on top once again. Look at Knežević, he's moved right up onto the back of Newman's machine now. Harry Watts is there. Also, too, right behind him is the 2 race DNA riders, Calvin Moylan and Casey Middleton. They're well and truly in the action as well. Casey Middleton does have history here in Phillip Island. He's had some great results on board that race DNA machine in the past.
Yeah, Nicholson was quite wide there as well. As they head into Honda Corner again, looks like Josh Newman now who's taken the lead.
And it looks like Knežević has slotted the Motor City entry up into a 3rd position as well. There he is, bike number 48, Tino on a charge.
Valentino hasn't had a smooth weekend. He had an off yesterday in damp conditions. It was a high side too, so he was a little bit knocked around. Good to see him come back from that.
Oh, who was that trying to go up? There was Nicholson trying to go up the inside into Race and Road Corner. There wasn't any room there. Newman not leaving an avenue for Nicholson to get through. Across the top of the hill at Pirelli we come now. Oh, someone very wide there. That was one of the Race DNA riders. I think it may have been Moylan on board bike number 27. This is a very important part of the track, Steve. You and Chris were speaking about it earlier this weekend, especially on these bikes that are so dependent on slipstream.
Well, it certainly is. You've just got to, on these bikes, it's pretty much flat out through this corner here, the final Yamaha corner as you head down the straight. You've really got to keep tucked in, and you just know that you're going to get slipstreamed as Scott Nicholson just goes past Josh Newman. Josh Newman, not the smallest rider on the grid, therefore not the most aerodynamic. But he's got that inside run, but it is Nicholson who goes around the outside, as does Valentino as well.
Oh, that's the high, wide line there for Valentino. He's managed to hold onto it, and he will keep 3rd position. On a charge, though, I think it is it Middleton on board bike number 20. The Race DNA machine that's now moved up into 4th position. And look who's on the back of that group, Steve. You mentioned him before. Ryder Gilbert on board bike number 72. He's right in the middle. He's the last rider on that little freight train that's broken away from the riders from 10th place back. Oliver Short is some 1.4 seconds behind this lead group at the moment.
Well, you said Middleton was fast, and he's the fastest man out on track at the moment, 49.6. That is pretty rapid in these conditions.
Time to head down to pit lane. An update from Chris Vermeulen in this first race of the day.
Oh yes, you guys are definitely the lucky ones, I can say that, Phil and Steve. It is cold and windy out here. It's a really strong tailwind down the straight, so like Steve said, rapid speed for these conditions. It wouldn't be easy to handle these 300 and 400 Kawasaki's around the track in this. I reckon it's blind 35 plus Ks an hour, maybe 40 Ks an hour. And if you look at the top speeds of these 300s, it's over 200 kilometers an hour these little bikes are reaching at the moment, because it is quite blustery and it will be affecting the way they go through the corners. So the smart guys will be able to position their bikes so that wind doesn't affect them as much, and use the resistance from the rider in front of them or behind them, and hopefully get to the line first. But yeah, she's going to be a tricky race.
Yeah, 206 kilometres an hour on the last lap, the top speed from Valentino Knežević. He was the fastest rider out there. 205 for Will Nassif. Only 199 for Scott Nicholson, who utilised the slipstream to go past Josh Newman, and he's trying to do it again, Steve. Harry Watts also on a charge as well. You can see bike number 14, the Champions Ride Day machine, coming up the inside. He's just lost a position to Will Nassif, who has just gone completely round the outside of him on the run down into Motor Corner. And as usual, positions change every single corner in this category. We're now 4 abreast as we make our way through AMMF Corner.
Yeah, literally the name of the game right now is just to stay in this lead group. If you're in this lead group, you've got to stay there for at least another couple of laps. Scott Nicholson's doing the right thing. He's trying to stay at the front 2 or 3 all the time, and that will put you in a good position when it comes down to that final lap.
Yeah, fastest lap of the race.
Oh, up the inside. How deep did Will Nassif go? Takes the lead.
Well, that was a great demonstration of how much confidence he has in the front end of that machine. Calvin Moylan just set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:49.439 on lap 3. was actually at a track day at Sydney Motorsport Park a couple of weeks ago, and I had first-hand experience of how fast Will Nassif rides that bike into corners, and he just did it there at turn 1 as Nicholson uses the double slipstream on the run up the hill out of Siberia Corner towards Racing Road to go past both Newman and Nassif to take up the running at the front. You can see Geordie Simpson just getting monstered by the race DNA riders there as they came across the top of the hill and down into Pirelli. What about Harry Watts? He was up into 3rd position a lap ago, or not even a lap ago, Steve, and he's dropped back now to 7th or 8th position.
Yeah, look, right now, not so critical. Just needs to stay safe, but he's got to keep in his mind that the further back he is, the more he's got to risk soon. You know what I mean? Like, he can sit there for another lap, but if you're going to have any chance of winning this race, you've got a massive gaggle of riders to get through that are all thinking the same thing. Pretty much everyone will have the same plan out there. It is going to be hectic.
Oh, is that, I wasn't sure if that was Moylan or Middleton, because they're both up in that lead group now, or the head of the lead group. It was actually Moylan on board bike number 27 that's gone to the lead. And don't forget, a few bike length lead just between turns 1 and 2 as they make their way through there now. Valentino Nezovic trying to utilise the slipstream, but got bettered there by the second of the race DNA machines. That's Casey Middleton.
2/3 race distance gone now. Now's the time to start thinking about positioning yourself up near the front. And up the inside goes that number 27, Calvin Moylan, holds it. Here's your second group. Tara Morrison just in a big battle there.
I think William Hunt getting the better of all of them on the brakes there on board bike number 46. John Pelgrave, there's a lot of rapid riders in that group. Pelgrave and also Oliver Short on board bike number 7, the man that got a great start from the second row of the grid. As we go back to our lead group, currently being led by Josh Newman. Right on the inside was the Moto City man, Valentino Knezovic. He was running over the ripple strip, and he's consequently lost a lot of drive and about 3 positions as they make their way across the top of the hill, Steve, and down into Pirelli. We're on lap 5 now. So the lap's starting to dwindle down. Oh, is that Nicholson getting it sideways? Balked a couple of riders on the run down into the corner, and I think they've lost a lot of drive, which you mentioned before is so important here, especially at this part of the track.
Yeah, I mean, Scott Nicholson will probably just get onto the back there of Harrison Watts in the slipstream, but those other 2 guys behind him may have lost the toe now.
That was the 2 South Australians, Geordie Simpson and Ryder Gilbert, that fell victim to Nicholson there when he got in there a little bit hot. Down into motor we come.
You see that gap now there between those 2 South Australians, as you say, Gilbert and Simpson. Possibly lost the toe at the worst time.
How was the commitment from Harry Watts on board bike number 14 into turn 1? He had his knee and his elbow on the deck. It didn't look like he even slowed the bike up at all as he made his way down through that dauntingly fast corner.
And look at Josh Newman. He's been keeping quiet, but he's been keeping near the front, doing what he does best.
Watch them all charge down the inside now as they make their way into Honda Corner. Oh, we're 5-6 abreast now as we come down into turn 4. Up the inside, is that Casey Middleton or Calvin Moylan? They're running 1-2 at the moment. As we look down, oh, Will Nassif up the inside. Almost came into contact with the back of Harry Watts' machine. Harry Watts has now moved up into 3rd position. See the bright green Champions Ride Day bike there.
Look at the wind, Phil. I mean, these guys are really battling it out in tough conditions out there.
Newman elbowing Will Nassif out of the way as he came through Racing Road Corner. Across the top of the hill we come now, and it is the 2 race DNA machines from the Champions Ride Day machine of Harry Watts. Newman tries to go down the inside. Nicholson tries to go down the inside of everybody. Uses Valentino as a berm as he makes his way out of that corner and through Michelin.
And in this battle, you've got the battle for the championship lead as well, between Newman and Knezovic behind him there. So 1 point in between those guys. Remember that. Red flag.
Red flag. That's not because of this group, so I don't know what's happened behind. Looks like Alexander Cody has crashed at turn 4. You can see his airbag has gone off there. So red flag, so we will go back a lap. We'll wait for confirmation of the results, because when they went across the start-finish line on the last lap, Steve, there was about 5 riders all the way across the circuit. We see a replay now of Cody.
Oh, he's just lost it completely upright there. An innocuous crash, but the bike is literally on the track there. He laid prone for a minute, but as we saw, he got up. So it was good to see.
Yeah, just like you could see the puff of smoke across the front as soon as he got on the brakes there.
He's a bit winded, that's for sure.
Looks like he gave his Recondi leathers a significant workout.
It's like he may have hurt his right wrist or arm a little bit.
So red flag, we will wait for confirmation of the results. But it was so close between Josh Newman, Calvin Moylan, Will Nassif, Casey Middleton, Valentino Knežević, Harry Watts and Scott Nicholson. There's Geordie Simpson coming into the pits now on board bike number 33. A good ride from him, though, on board the Simpson crash machine. There is confirmation of your results, and it is a race DNA 1-2. Jason Whitehead will be jumping up and down with excitement. Calvin Moylan takes the win by 0.096 of a second over Casey Middleton. Harry Watts rounds out the podium on the Champions Ride Day machine. Then it's Josh Newman on the Wet For You Kawasaki in fourth. Will Nassif takes fifth. Valentino Knežević in sixth. Scott Nicholson eventually ends up seventh. Geordie Simpson eighth. Ryder Gilbert ninth. And Oliver Short rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, good to see Tara Morrison in 11th there. Oscar Lewis, Sean Pelgrave, William Hunt, Lincoln Knight in that 15th getting the last point. Tom Nicholson, Hudson Air and Mark Shaw in 18th.
So that means that Josh Newman will score a couple more championship points over Valentino to extend that lead. Mark Shaw finishes in 19th. Good result there from the young Sydney sider in only his second ever visit, but plenty of excitement down there. Oh no, we've got a scene of change. Josh Newman has, well, it's all changed around. Josh Newman now has got the race win by 0.047 of a second over Calvin Moylan and Will Nassif up to third.
Let's head down to Chris on the podium.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. Well, that was your Race and Road Supersport 300 race. A little bit shorter than we expected, but third place, Will Nassif. Congratulations. What a group. Tell us about that race. It looked hectic out there.
Well, I had a pretty good start from pole. Geordie had a bit of a better start. I got in behind him and I happened to lead into turn one, so I was pretty happy about that. I wasn't trying to lead most of the race. I had bits and pieces of leading, but I was trying to work where everyone's quicker, where I'm quicker. So I thought I would have had it set up, but then the red flag came down the straight and I was a bit disappointed. I had no idea where I was, but I'm fairly happy with the podium here considering I had quite low expectations coming into this weekend, but I can't wait to hopefully make the next one or two a win.
Well, congratulations again, Will. That's your third place, man. We will get Calvin Moylan over here. Calvin, well done, mate. I can see these guys enjoying that race. How was that one for you? A bit chaotic?
Yeah, pretty chaotic. Once again, same as Will, not really expecting much coming from this weekend. I'm one of the heavier riders, so had to make do with what I had, and I think I did pretty well. So just like to say a massive thanks to all my sponsors, Hydrodynamics, Aussie Motor Engineering, West Sliders, Manic Clothing and Pierre Bricklaying. Thank you. And also I'd like to say a massive thanks to the team because I forgot last time.
Good on you. Well done, Kelvin. That's Calvin Moylan, your second place finisher in the Race and Road Supersport 300, and our winner, Josh Newman. Well done. You kept yourself at the pointy end of that race all along. Well done with that race.
Yeah, it was good race. Led 90% of it, but yeah, it was a tough battle going back and forth. I didn't realise how big the group actually was. I thought I was sort of breaking away with Nicholson there, but going back and forth, and I just knew that the last couple laps I had to lead over just in case that situation did happen, and it did happen, so yeah, I'll take it.
Definitely, and it paid off. Congratulations again.
Thanks, mate.
There you go, our podium finishers. Back to you guys.
Well, thanks very much, Chris. Plenty more action coming up here. Thanks very much to Visit Victoria. We are at the magnificent Phillip Island Circuit. Plenty more action coming up after this break. And welcome back to stunning Phillip Island. Look at that view. It is absolutely sensational here. Not only the home of one of the greatest racetracks in the world, but also some magnificent scenery. And we're perched right on the coast here at the Phillip Island Circuit. That is just off the coast of where the circuit is. You can see the circuit there on your right-hand side. The beaches are all the way round to Seal Rocks at the end of the island there. We get ready to resume racing here with the Race Road Supersport 300 category. Let's recap that starting grid. Will Nassif, Geordie Simpson and Josh Newman will start out of the first row, along with Valentino Knežević, Harry Watts and Ollie Short on row number 2.
Calvin Moylan, Casey Middleton and Scott Nicholson from row 3. Your row 4's John Pelgrave, Ryder Gilbert and Lincoln Knight.
Yes, a great result for Tara Morrison on her comeback from injury on row 5 in position number 13, along with Oscar Lewis and William Hunt. Tom Nicholson, the Victorian, on bike number 67 is starting out of position number 16, along with Phil Jacobs and Alexander Cody. Let's hope he's okay after his race 1 crash.
Hudson Air, Mark Shaw and Ty Zhao on row 7. Row 8 is Georgia Stevens from South Australia and Michael Cartwright.
Has there been a round this year where Georgia Stevens hasn't managed to improve her PBs from last year? I think every round she goes to, Steve, she's improving.
Absolutely.
And good work to the Race DNA team for giving Georgia the tools to do that here this weekend. Once again at Phillip Island. As you can see, Harry Watts there slams the visor shut. He's ready to go racing, starting out of position number 5 on the second row of the grid. Will Nassif, young man from Western Sydney, ready to go as well. Race Road Supersport 300 is go. Great start there from the front row of the grid as they make their way down towards turn 1. It is Simpson and Nassif going elbow to elbow, but Simpson is on the inside and Newman is also utilising the slipstream to come up the inside, and Newman will lead them through the corner the first time through. Oh, that's a bit risky on the inside there, but Newman does it successfully, and he goes through Motul and leads them through AMMF. Around the outside, Geordie Simpson, 2 abreast. That's never going to work for too long, Steve.
No, Nassif took that inside line. There's a couple of lines in the middle of that corner, and Nassif took that tight line, just sits himself in inside of Newman at the moment, and right in the slipstream as he heads down in a Honda corner. He's in the perfect position to try and out Newman. Newman's quite wide there, but he's got that inside line, but Nassif goes around the outside.
Yeah, once again, just looks like he does not use the brakes into turn 4. He just glides in there so smoothly and takes up the running at the front. Newman back to second. Simpson still there in third position, just looking back through the grid. Scotty Nicholson is a little bit further back than we would have expected. Just making way to see where he's going to be heading as we come up through the top of the hill now. Yeah, he's back to about 7th or 8th position.
Yeah, not the best of starts for Scotty Nicholson, but we know that he's a bit of a fighter and he'll make his way forward. He's got a lot more smarts than these guys, and he already has made his way forward, and he's up into that 4th or 5th, maybe 3rd position. He's so good on these cold tyres.
Knežević on a charge as well too on the Motor City entry bike number 48. He's moved his way up to 5th. Of course, he didn't have a good qualifying. Spoke to him yesterday afternoon, and he said he's not really a qualifier, he's more of a racer. And he's involved in a pretty hectic battle there at the moment with one of the Race DNA riders. I think that may have been Casey Middleton on board bike number 20. As we come round to complete the first lap of this 7-lap race distance. Ryder Gilbert well and truly in there as well, Steve, as he was in race number 1 as well. So continuing along with that good form that he showed earlier on today. But it is Nicholson trying to go around the outside. Newman once again will lead them through Motul Corner.
Yeah, good ride there by Nicholson. Nicholson doing double duties this weekend too. He's not only riding in the 300 class, he's also riding in the 600 class. Back-to-back races. I mean, pretty impressive stuff for the... I'm not going to say he's old, but he's the elder statesman of this class for sure.
And also 1 second covers your top 11 riders as they came across the start-finish line. So typical Race Road Supersport 300 action we can see here. As we head down to turn 4 on this second lap. They go 3 and 4 abreast behind race leader Nicholson. Simpson up the inside of Newman.
Great, Will Nassif is so good into that Honda corner. He really is.
Well, I had a first-hand experience of that at a recent track day at Sydney Motorsport Park. I was out in the same group as Will Nassif. He literally went flying past me so fast and then down into the corner at turn 4 at Sydney Motorsport Park, almost like he didn't use the brakes at all, and when one corner he was absolutely gone.
Yeah, there's a lot of jostling of positions out there at the moment, people trying to get themselves settled into race rhythm. Looks like Tara Morrison's got a much better start this time too. She was doing some good lap times in her first race back from injury last time out, but she lost that lead group. There she is on the back of that lead group.
Well, also too, the Race DNA team riders, Casey Middleton and Calvin Moylan, as they were in race 1, back up there again. Middleton on 20, Moylan on 27. See them there on the blue Ninja 400s in amongst, right behind Geordie Simpson and right next to Josh Newman as they come round through Yamaha Revs Your Heart corner and onto the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance start finish straight. A 1:57.1 on the first lap from a standing start for Josh Newman, the fastest lap of the race. As they complete the first flying lap, the fastest man on track, a 49.6 for Harry Watts, who's now made his way up to 8th position.
Yeah, and that's how close it is. He's in 8th position and he's just done the fastest lap. So this is going to go down to the wire.
Oh, the Champions Ride Day machine of Watts just trying to sneak up the inside of Newman there as Newman slipped back to 5th position. So you've got the top 3 in the championship. Newman, Valentino Knežević and Harry Watts back in 6th, 7th and 8th position.
Yeah, I mean, it's important for Knežević, if he can, to try and beat Josh this time, the number 17 machine. And he's right behind him there. He needs Josh beat him last time and opened that gap out from 1 point to 10 points. There's 10 points in it now. Knežević needs to strike back if he can.
Yeah, there was multiple issues of contact there through turn 4 on that occasion. John Pelgrave is also in that group as well. You can see him behind Harry Watts there on the white and fluoro yellow machine. Bike number 43. Doing a good job there is John Pelgrave, relatively inexperienced in the Supersport 300 category. We see Nicholson taking a few different lines to try and weave his way through the field, up through Race and Road corner.
Oh, bit of a moment.
That was more contact between Nicholson and, was it Moylan, I think, through the Hayshed, Race and Road corner. Pelgrave down the inside on Valentino Knežević. Couldn't quite get the job done. Knežević just let the brakes off and rolled into Pirelli corner with a little bit more speed to make sure he held the rider on board bike number 43 out.
Just up the inside goes Casey Middleton, takes that second spot from Geordie Simpson now. Josh Newman is leading down the straight, but he can be assured that he's going to be slipstreamed, and he is. Middleton's already on pass.
Middleton's taking the option to go all the way to the inside of the track. Exactly what we saw earlier on today for the Aussie racing cars, where they utilised the wall to protect them from a little bit of the wind that's gusty here at Phillip. Oh, a few people are actually having to sit up a little bit.
Nicholson again.
It is Nicholson having a big moment down into Motul corner.
He's having a few of those moments in this one, isn't he?
He didn't look like he lost too much in track position, but he lost quite a few little positions. There's another big moment for Nicholson.
Yeah,
that time contact with Ryder Gilbert.
Yeah, but he's definitely not comfortable with something. 3 moments in the 1 lap there. I wonder if he's like losing the front a little bit, which is causing him to stand it up. That's normally how that happens. What, is that Nassif up the inside? Of course it is.
It was Nassif. He came from nowhere, overtook about 3 riders on the brakes on the run down into turn 4, then had to stand the bike up. He still managed to come out in 5th position behind Valentino Knežević. So Knežević up to 4th position.
Calvin Moylan had a good dive into there too. Good ride by him. Knežević behind him.
Did you see that, Steve? Around the outside of Geordie Simpson went, was that Moylan or Middleton? It was Middleton. Around, it was both of them. All of them, in fact. Both the Race DNA riders and Valentino Knežević have all gone past Geordie Simpson on the run, or the entry into Race Road corner to Pirelli.
Look at this. The whole field. I mean, we've got 1 second, 2 seconds down to 14th position at the moment. This is an incredible race, Phil, if you hadn't noticed.
It's a conga line, and I feel like I'm at a Greek wedding, Steve, as we make our way through Yamaha Revs Your Heart corner. Look at them all now starting to hug the inside of the track, so Middleton will lead them.
Look, there's a tailwind, so I don't know why he's doing that. I guess it only gives one option to pass, which is down that right-hand side. But it's the line that he's chosen. Casey Middleton led over the line that time through.
And I think that's the first time this weekend that Valentino Knežević has actually hit the lead of any of the races on board that Moto City entry bike number 48.
Well, Valentino's a little bit beaten up. Yesterday in practice it was slightly damp and he took a ride over the high side, which is never a good thing. Knocked his confidence a bit, but it's back and he's riding good at the moment.
And did a little bit of damage to the bike and a little bit of damage to himself. He was feeling a bit second-hand when I spoke to him yesterday afternoon. Look at Ryder Gilbert, how wide he was. Still head down behind the screen though on board bike number 72. And he's making his way forward as well too. This is one of Ryder Gilbert's best races so far of the season.
I tell you who is making their way forward in this group, B&L Mechanical Air Services. Tara Morrison is moved herself right up into that top 10 spot, less than a second off the lead.
Well, great result for Tara, considering she's coming back from two significant injuries so far in 2024. It is great to see her back in the championship, though.
I mean, how disappointed are you going to be when you go home and you say, yeah, I finished 2 seconds off the lead and I was like 15th? This is a massive, massive race. Super important for our championship leaders, Josh Newman and Valentino Nezovic, with only 10 points in it. Look at this.
Nicholson, how did he do that? Around the outside.
Oliver Short there too.
Tara Morrison well and truly starting to get involved in this battle now. You can see her there on board bike number 95. She's up to 13th. But it is the race DNA riders that lead. Unfortunately for them, Will Nassif's got different ideas. Down the inside at Yamaha corner, he comes round onto the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance start finish straight in the lead. What's going to happen now is he's going to get slipstreamed. Valentino Knezovic's got a bit of fairing hanging off the side of his bike, probably because of all of the contact that's been going on.
To be fair, it's been a pretty clean race, touch wood so far. Everyone's been giving everybody else a little bit of space, which is good to see with these youngsters.
So it is Nicholson, Moylan, Nicholson, Middleton. They're just swapping positions every single corner.
Yeah, Harrison Watts is up there in that 6th position too. Good to see him.
I'm not sure if that was contact there or the camera nearly got blown off its stand, but there looked like there was a few riders just sort of having a bit of contact there as they came out of AWMF corner and then set sail for Alpine Stars. Up the inside, it is Moylan on board bike number 27. Nassif once again, Steve, proving that he's the master of turn 4 this weekend.
Well, Moylan and Nassif are both very good into that Honda corner. They've both got a lot of confidence in the front as they tip in to that tight right-hander. Up the hill they go. Bit of a headwind up here, like massive headwind, which gives, if you're leading up here, you're going to get overtaken because there's plenty of different lines on these 300s through here, and you can just see as soon as you hit that headwind, the others just come streaming past you. So it's something to consider coming into the last laps of this race.
Let's cast our minds back to the first round here at Phillip Island in February this year. Will Nassif, who is sitting in 2nd position and qualified on pole, finished 18th, 13th, and did not finish the 3rd race. He's having a whale of a weekend so far. He's qualified on pole. He's been on the podium on the first race, and he's now sitting in a perfect position as they will come round to complete 6 laps of the 7 race lap journey and get the last lap board. It is Nicholson. He's set sail for the finish already, Steve. He's looking to try and make a bit of a break so they can't utilise the slipstream as this last lap board comes out. Middleton pulls out of the slipstream and goes past Will Nassif. They are 4 or 5 abreast. Harry Watts saying, follow me, we'll get to the front. I don't think anyone's taking any notice of you, Harry, as they make their way down to Motor Corner.
Yeah, Nicholson's dug deep, hasn't he? He would have been expecting a whole bunch of people to fly past him down that straight, but they didn't. So that will give him a little bit of confidence, but I'll tell you what, it's going to happen into Honda Corner.
Yeah, it's going to be Moylan and Nassif that will be putting the pressure on bike number 39, Scott Nicholson, as they come down towards turn 4. They've got to negotiate the very fast, well, and very windy this weekend, Alpine Stars corner turn 3 before they get there though, Steve. And they're coming down now onto the brakes. Nicholson goes right to the inside of the track to try and narrow the distance. Geordie Simpson comes up the inside and goes up into 2nd position. Geordie Simpson on a last lap charge.
Yeah, that was a massive move by Geordie Simpson there.
Nassif down the inside of Middleton through Dunlop corner.
He runs a little wide there though. He runs wide and I think Moylan got him back.
Now, championship leader is back in about 7th position as they make their way through Race and Road for the final time.
Yeah.
Newman has got a lot of work to do.
Don't worry about that because there's still plenty of time. He's in a reasonable spot. It's Josh Newman, work to do, but he's going to have to make it count down here and use the slipstream.
Oh, I thought Geordie Simpson was going up the inside. And Nassif, how did he not tag the back of Simpson there?
Oh, he's so good on the front there.
Right, this is the run now to the start-finish line. This is where the race will be won, and I think that Scott Nicholson has got just enough of a gap that the slipstream is not going to be able to be utilised by Geordie Simpson in 2nd position. Nassif is in 3rd. He'll be able to utilise the slipstream as they come to the line. They start to weave as they come out onto the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance start-finish straight. It is Nicholson that will take the win. Can Nassif get there for 2nd? Look at Valentino. Valentino's come from nowhere. I think he got 3rd place right on the flag. He got 2nd place, Valentino Knezovich. What a ride from the young man from Wollongong on bike number 48. There's the 222 machine of Lincoln Knight coming across the line.
Tom
Steve, there was
behind him too.
2.1 seconds from 1st to 14th position.
Wow.
Tara Morrison finishing in 14th, 2.1 seconds behind our race leader, Scott Nicholson. Valentino Knežević and Will Nassif round out the podium. Absolutely unbelievable. Typical Race Road Supersport 300 action. We love it.
Oh, what a ride. What a race. 2.1 seconds, 14 positions. That's the way we like it, Phil. And the fastest lap of the race was set on the last lap.
By Geordie Simpson, a 1:49.006. John Pelgrave making his way through. He had a good ride too, John Pelgrave. Congratulations to him. But there is the confirmation of your result. Scott Nicholson taking the win by 0.3 of a second over Valentino Knežević. Will Nassif in 32nd podium of the weekend. Championship leader Josh Newman in 4th. Geordie Simpson in 5th. And the fastest lap of the race on the last lap. Ryder Gilbert in 6th. His best result for a long time, Steve. Middleton in 7th. Moylan in 8th. Harry Watts in 9th. And John Pelgrave rounds out the top 10.
Oscar Lewis 11th. Ollie Short in 12th. 13th. William Hunt. Tara Morrison 14th and 2.1 seconds off the lead. Lincoln Knight, Tom Nicholson, Hudson Air, Flynn Jacobs in 18th.
Mark Shaw, Tian Zhao, Georgia Stevens and Mitch Cartwright round out the finishes. 22 people made it to the start from the start and 22 people made it to the finish. And our top 3 have managed to make their way down to the podium with Chris Vermeulen.
Yeah, thanks very much. Well, there we are, the Race and Road Supersport 300 class. It's spectacular racing, isn't it? But third place, man, Will Nassif, second podium of the day. Congratulations, what a race.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was the most hectic race I've ever had so far. I think on that last lap, I almost locked the front like 3 or 4 times. I was braking as late as I could just to stay in that top 2 or 3. Scotty was just too good at the end, but that was one of my favourite races I've had ever. I'd also like to thank everyone who's been helping out behind the scenes, like Damo from MotorStars, Dad, Maurice, JJ, everyone who's making this possible. It's great. Yeah.
Well, you got another race later on the Savo. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
There you go, and what a race it was. And second place, man, Valentino Knežević. You closed down the championship lead a little bit there, but yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, no, it was a crazy race. I just had to make sure I got a good start and was able to stay up the front with the front runners. And yeah, was able, at the back end, I was sitting towards 8th, and I was like, oh no, it's getting a bit hard. So it was anyone's race towards the end there, but I managed to get a good line, good drive out of 11 and 12, and caught the slipstream to the finish.
Well, good luck for race 3 this afternoon.
Perfect. Thank you, Chris.
There you go. That's third and second. And unfortunately, we're not going to get the winner, Scott Nicholson. He's gone to the Supersport 600 grid. So congratulations to him. And back to you guys.
Plenty more action coming up here from Phillip Island. Back shortly. And welcome back. We are at Phillip Island. Thanks very much to Visit Victoria to sample the magnificent Phillip Island circuit for round 5 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championships presented by Motul. Conditions vastly different now, Steve, as we get ready to go racing for the Race and Road Supersport 300 final race of the day. Race 3 for the category. Will Nassif, Geordie Simpson and Josh Newman will start from the front row of the grid with Knežević, Watts and Short on the second row. Moylan, Middleton and Scott Nicholson out of row 3.
Pelgrave, Gilbert, Knight is your row 4. Row 5, Tara Morrison, Oscar Lewis and William Hunt, Tom Nicholson, Flynn Jacobs and Alexander Cody, row 6.
Well, hopefully Cody is able to take up his position on the grid because he had a significant crash earlier on this weekend. Hudson Air, Mark Shaw, the young Sydney rider on board the 111 machine, will start at position number 20. Tian Zhao and Georgia Stevens and Mitch Cartwright round out the field. All right, getting ready to go racing. Newman's got a dark visor on the Maverick Vinales helmet. Good start there from Newman and Simpson. Simpson, in fact, got the front wheel lofting into the air. Such was the grip coming from that rear tyre. They make their way down towards turn 1 for the first time. Knežević's also got a great start and is charging on the Yamaha YZF R3, the Motor City entry. He's up into 4th now as they go through turn 1 for the first time.
We've got a fall.
That's Knežević. That's Knežević down into turn 1. His second crash in wet conditions this weekend.
Yeah, it looks like he lost the front that time though. Just pushing too hard into that one.
So let's have a look as they come out of turn 2 and head towards Alpine Stars corner. It is Will Nassif, Geordie Simpson and Josh Newman.
Well, Josh Newman, if he finished 18th in the wet at Sydney Motorsport Park. He's found his mojo here because he's staying with these front guys, no problem at all.
Well,
up the inside he goes. Nice move there too. And that's Ollie Short's up there. Good ride by Ollie Short as well.
Oh, Newman's down. Newman's down at turn 4.
There you go. Probably be able to pick that up and keep going, which is what you need to do, buddy. Keep going if you can.
It is, and well, I don't know if he would have seen Valentino crash at turn 1.
No, he wouldn't.
What's going to happen now is that if Harry Watts can get out there and score some decent championship points, he's going to move up closer to the championship lead. As we see the Ducati replay, you can see Valentino coming down the inside there. He got a very rapid run down into turn 1. The back end came round and just spat him over the high side.
Yeah, that can happen. That's engine braking going in. That back will just lock on the wet part of the track. Then Josh Newman up the inside looks good. Takes the tight entry, which means he's got to be tight on the exit. Gets on the gas. We don't see that, but we do see the aftermath, which is him laying on the ground. So,
and you've also got to turn at a more acute angle, haven't you? To try and get the corner completed.
Yeah.
So it is Will Nassif with a very small lead of, what's that? Well, it's down to about a second, I think you'll find, as they come across the line over Geordie Simpson. Calvin Moylan is up into third place on the 27 machine. Then it's Oliver Short in fourth. Scott Nicholson in fifth. No surprise to see the KT veteran in this class, Nicholson, running well and taking his time to bed the bike in.
Yeah, another Nicholson, Tom Nicholson, doing a great job in 10th position as well. So good to see him up there. But Oliver Short in fourth. So, relative newcomer to the class, doing a good job out there.
Yeah, Tommy Nicholson comes from a motorsport family. Good to see him getting a good result on board bike number 10. He's probably using this event as practice for the Victorian Championships as well.
And on top of that, he's a City MX rider too, as is Oliver Short. They were there the other week training. Looks like it worked.
It's holding them in good stead now, Steve, as they negotiate these very slippery and tricky conditions.
Casey Middleton's gone down the pack.
Well, Middleton on bike number 20, the race DNA machine. There's his teammate Calvin Moylan, managing to get away from a little bit of a pack behind. Lincoln Knight on board the Triple Two machine, also having a great ride.
Yeah, real good. Harry
Watts is back in 7th position. Wonder if he's aware of the situation with fellow championship protagonists crashing out of this event. Knežević is out of the race. Newman has picked up his bike and is continuing on, currently sitting in 19th position.
He's out of the points, so he's got to make up 15 seconds to get into the points, just about. So it's going to be a difficult ride for Josh Newman, but he can use it for experience 100%.
Well, Mark Shaw having a good ride on board the 111 machine. He's up to 17th position.
Yeah. Casey Middleton's gone down somewhere, I reckon, because he keeps on...
yeah, he's dropping down through the field. So back to our race lead. Then it's back to second and third and fourth position. Lincoln Knight. This would be Lincoln Knight's first ever podium. In fact, he hasn't got a top 10 finish, Lincoln Knight.
Oh, we're
this year.
Didn't quite catch the number of that.
383, I think that was, or 323. That'd be Flynn Jacobs.
Yep. Okay. Having a good ride right up to that point. Probably can pick that bike up and get it going. So we have a look on the Ducati replay.
He was battling with, was that William Hunt, I think, for position. So they were battling for 9th and 10th position.
Yeah, he just got on the gas way too hard. I mean, that looks like it's one of the 400 Kawasaki's. They have a lot of low-down torque, so you have to be super smooth on the gas on those things to get it out of the corner. And he wasn't smooth enough at that point with too much lean angle. But Will Nassif, what a weekend he's had. He's been strong on the brakes and the dry, and he's looking as smooth as silk out there at the moment too.
I know he's been doing a lot of work lately with his rider coach, Damien Cudlin, as well. So whatever Damien Cudlin is doing to build up the skill set of Will Nassif certainly has been working here this weekend. He qualified on pole, he's had 2 podiums, and now he's challenging Geordie Simpson for his first ever race win. Now, Geordie Simpson, I think, has been on the podium previously in the Race Road Supersport 300 category, but I don't remember him ever taking a race win.
Now, Queensland Raceway, I feel he was on the podium.
And also South Australia last year at the Ben Motorsport Park in front of his adoring home fans.
Well, of course he's going to be on the podium at home, but I'll tell you, Tara Morrison's out there too. Scotty Nicholson doing a good job in 5th position, but the pressure's on from behind for him too.
Well, that looks like Tommy Nicholson on board the 67 machine. You can see on the camera there, the Ords Motorcycles entry. Not too far behind Harry Watts on board the Champions Ride Day machine, bike number 14 as well. Then there's William Hunt on board bike number 46, that very distinctly coloured machine. Standing out in the very grey conditions, as is Scott Nicholson's machine, where you can't miss that one anywhere, can you, Steve?
No, I tell you what, there's a decent gaggle of riders right here.
Boy, Tara Morrison clawing up onto the back of it on the Fearless Motorcycles machine. And that's probably a great way to describe Tara. Conditions are treacherous, and Tara is absolutely fearless.
Well, if you have a look at her helmet as well, she's wearing an Evel Knievel helmet. It actually looks pretty cool.
Back to our race lead, it is Simpson and Nassif as they go side by side down the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance start finish straight.
And it is Simpson who takes the lead at the moment from Will Nassif. Thinks that he's got a little bit more pace. 201.9 for Geordie Simpson last time through. 202.4 for Will Nassif. But Nassif back up the inside, really pushes that edge grip on the way into the AMMF corner.
Yeah, Geordie Simpson rocking the different coloured boots as well. The pink boot on the left and the yellow boot on the right. Has a look over his shoulder. He can't see that there is a huge gap of, well, what would that be, about 7 seconds back to this group of riders.
Yeah, Harrison Watts there in the lead of that group of riders.
Well, Nicholson started to charge forward. In fact, he's caught up onto the back of Nicholson and Harry Watts. Obviously loving the tricky wet conditions. So it's Nicholson v Nicholson down into to turn 4. Watts trying to go up the inside. Oliver Short in there as well, as is Tara Morrison. Tara Morrison, you can see the red front, white rear of that Ninja 400. Nicholson's just managed to get away a fraction as well.
Look how much Harrison Watts is hanging off that on the inside too to try and keep the bike upright. And also, I noticed not many of the riders do, but Harrison Watts has got like one of the plastic clear rain jackets on. A lot of guys are out there without the rain jacket. Did I just hear something going through the gravel trap?
Yep,
and that's Lincoln Knight.
Yep, Lincoln Knight is down on the entry into, well, that's the
Ducati
entry
corner.
into Ducati corner, a very, very tricky and fast area of the circuit.
It is, and he was in 3rd position when that happened, so he's just thrown away 3rd position, unfortunately for him.
We're coming up to complete 4 laps.
Oh, there's another rider down.
That's a big moment.
2 down.
That's Tommy Nicholson, I think, and right behind him, I couldn't quite pick up who that was.
Yep. They're trying to find out whose bike's whose, having a bit of a discussion about it.
Well, the Moto Heaven entry, it's Ollie Short. He'll be trying to get that bike going as quickly as he can. Here's a replay on the Ducati replay now, coming down into Pirelli corner. You can see Nicholson just gets on the gas, the back end comes around. Short had nowhere to go.
Was that Tom Nicholson? It was,
Yeah,
they're buddies as well. They come to the motocross track together in the same band. They won't be going home together tonight.
Well, they did congratulate each other. They crashed into each other and then immediately tried to pick their bikes up and get going again. As the rain continues to fall here at Phillip Island.
Yep, there's a gap. There's no one behind you guys. You've just got to hold it together for another couple of laps, but it's easier than it sounds. Yeah, Tom Nicholson, Oliver Short, buddies, take each other out.
Well, the fastest lap of the race is a 201.725, set on the last lap by Will Nassif. Geordie Simpson did a 202 flat, red flag, and I'd say that's because of the precarious position of that bike on the Ducati corner, right in the middle of the gravel trap in a very fast corner.
And
so red flag, we're only just over half race distance, Steve, so 2/3 race distance has not been completed. If anything, half race points will probably be awarded.
So the race is definitely declared. Bike on the edge of the track at turn 9.
So the results is Will Nassif takes the win by 0.2 of a second over Geordie Simpson. Calvin Moylan will take out the last place on the podium. Scotty Nicholson will be 4th, Harrison Watts in 5th, Tara Morrison 6th, William Hunt in 7th, Oscar Lewis in 8th, Josh Newman in 9th, and Ryder Gilbert in 10th. What a recovery from Josh Newman after crashing on the first lap.
Oh yeah, I said it was impossible, but he proved me wrong. Good ride, Josh, and that is why you should always get back on your bike if you can. Ryder Gilbert in 10th, John Pelgrave 11th, Hudson Air 12th, Mark Shaw in 13th, Tom Nicholson looks like he managed to pick that bike up, as did Oliver Short, and get across the line. Lincoln Knight, as we know, went down. Tai Zhao in 17th and Georgia Stevens in 18th. So good results.
There you go, there's Will Nassif, his dad Mark congratulating him. His first ever win in the Race and Road Supersport category. His good mate there is JJ Nalus.
A little bit of a
There's his rider coach, Damien Cudlin.
bit of a breakthrough weekend for him, I reckon, this weekend.
2 third places and a win, pole position. An awesome result. Championship points as we leave round 5. Josh Newman on 278, Valentino Knežević on 259. Harry Watts in 3rd place, still on 254. Geordie Simpson in 4th on 208. And Will Nassif, after a weekend that he will remember forever, rounds out your championship top 5. Down to you, Chris.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. We're here. What a race and what conditions. I tell you, it's horrible out here. But Calvin Moylan, you must be wrapped. 3rd place. Congratulations.
Oh, I'm absolutely through the roof. I did not expect this whatsoever, but these conditions were some of the worst conditions I've ever ridden in my life. So super happy to come away upright and on the podium. Heart goes out to all the people that did crash. So I saw one at turn 1 and my teammate Casey, who crashed as well. But yeah, just like to say a massive thanks to everyone standing out in the rain, all the officials as well, because I don't think they get enough credit. But yeah, just like to say a massive thanks to all my sponsors. Sam Clark from RS36 been coaching me throughout the whole last 2 years. Wouldn't be here without him. Pierre Bricklaying for helping out. Hydro Pneumatics, Dad as well for coming, because yeah, he was pretty crook last night. So yeah, big thanks to him and everyone else. Just couldn't be here without you. Thank you so much. And also want to say thanks to you, Mum, back at home in WA. We did it.
Congratulations. There you go. It's our 3rd place, man. 2nd place is Geordie Simpson. I got to get Geordie over here. He's too wrapped. Come on, Geordie. He's got an umbrella at least, so I'm going to jump under that. Yeah. Well done, mate. 2nd place.
Yeah, no, cheers for that. No, that was an awesome race. I had tons of fun out there. I like the wet. It feels like a motocross bike, yeah, which I'm used to. Yeah, I just like to thank all the team, Tony and Libros for all the help, my mum and dad for all the help they've put in, and yeah, my brothers for all the training we do together.
Oh, well done. Congratulations again.
Cheers, Steve.
Never get a smile off his face. And the winner, I've got to get another one over here. Will Nassif. These guys are so excited. 2 third places and then a win. Congratulations, mate.
Oh, I'm so stoked. As soon as I was praying for rain this entire weekend, because I thought coming into here, because I know I'm fairly good in the wet, I was hoping it would just be wet because it's Phillip Island. And qualifying went to plan, so I was stoked with that. Then 2 podiums, which I was over the moon with, and now to get my first race win, I'm over the moon. But big thanks to everyone that was making this happen. I had no foot peg coming out of pit lane for the first time, so after the first lap, I came in. Miko from Motor Racer screwed a new one in, and I went back out. But it was hectic, and I'd like to thank Damo, JJ, Maurice, Dad, everyone that's made this possible. It's fantastic.
Well, there you go. They're very happy, aren't they? And well deserved. So that's your podium finishes for the Race and Road Supersport 300 Race 3.
Well, thanks very much, Chris. Congratulations to Will Nassif. A weekend he will remember forever. That's round 5 done. Next we head to the One Raceway, the new circuit at Goulburn in New South Wales for round 6 of the championship, and then the grand final, the 8th to the 10th of November at the Bend Motorsport Park in South Australia. But from Phillip Island and round 5, it's goodbye, and we'll see you at Wakefield Park.